Hello, friends and family from South Africa. Wanted to send you guys just an end of the year update and what God has done this year with us and through us and in South Africa, and what we are anticipating Him doing next year. Just want to keep you guys in the loop. But before we really say any of that, we just want to say thank you. And I know we say this every video, but from the bottom of our hearts, we are blessed. Every month we look at our statements, we look at the people that are praying for us and giving to us and what God is doing here, and we are blown away. So thank you for your support, for your partnership, for your friendship. It truly means a lot to us, truly means the world to us, from the bottom of our hearts. So thank you that you watch these videos, are connected to us. We're blessed with friends and family like you guys. So I'm going to start. This last year with COVID, 2020, for us was wild and was amazing. I think you guys have followed us as we realized that God took us through a season of growing our team in an intimate way, growing our marriage in just intimacy and working out old history wounds and things that really were holding us back. So we've seen a lot of growth in our family, a lot of time together, a lot of growth in our team, a lot of growth in our marriage. We've seen, as a team, we've seen amazing things. We've seen God open doors. We've seen, 500 hours of prayer and intercession per person this year as a team. We've seen over 1,500 salvations. We've seen 1,400 people trained and discipled in the nations. I mean, I can't even think, even just as a family, we've seen, hundreds of gospel seeds. Yeah. As a family, we've seen 7 people come to know Jesus. We've seen healings. And it's not for impressing you guys. It's just, this is what we've seen as a family because of our yes to the nation of South Africa, our yes to Jesus. We've seen fruit of our yes. We've seen people's lives changed, giving their lives to Jesus. We've seen people come from a -5 with God to a -3 with just sowing seeds and being intentional in the gym, in the grocery store, sharing Jesus, praying for people. So we're totally blessed, and it's been a wild year with COVID, challenging. Even this last month we were in Johannesburg, and I think this last month I experienced more culture shock than ever. I think just seeing the poverty, seeing people beg, has really been a challenge. But this last year has been amazing, and we're totally stoked for this next year. But I want to give time for Layla and Megan to share, so I don't talk for 30 minutes, because I probably could. So Layla, would you tell us how was 2020 for you? What do you want to tell people?
Great. It was a learning year. It was an amazing year. I can't believe it's over already. It felt so fast. I loved my new school, as some of you have heard about that. Friends, community. I loved all the time we got with our team. It was really, really good for me. But also going through some days where I also have missed like my friends or my home, and just being grateful that there's things like Marco Polo that exist, that I can still see my friends.
Yeah. What are some highlights for you?
Graduating grade 6, that's a big highlight for me.
It's true, in a foreign country, foreign school.
Yeah.
Totally different school system.
Yeah, totally different. We finished
too.
our term testing, or the end of the year testing, and I graduated grade 6, moved on to grade 7.
She graduated like top of
fail.
her class, like aced every class except for English, which
for
we're
English.
working through, but it's different English. But she basically crushed it. First year in a foreign country, top of her class. I mean, probably top 5. So she crushed it.
Yeah, that was a really big highlight. One of my biggest, actually, for the year.
Anything in the prayer room?
I like now that I can know how to lead a prayer set. Like, I've been learning so much on how to like direct the room, how to have great prayer points that keep people engaged, but also are really powerful even towards what we're praying for.
How do you do that?
What do you mean?
How do you lead a room? How did you learn that? How do you find good prayer points?
I asked Jesus to help me because I don't know. Usually I don't have any clue what I'm going to pray for, and then I just have to, yeah.
Cool.
That's good.
Jesus a lot.
Megan, how about you? How was 2020?
Man, 2020 was awesomely, wonderfully hard. Gosh, we hit the ground running. We had some unexpected hiccups with my health a few weeks in that are somewhat resolved, but still in some ways not. So that was not something that we were anticipating dealing with when you say yes and you're on such a high thinking like, wow, obedience and everything it took to get here to then come and feel like basically you're the slowest person on the team and that you need the most help. But it's been an incredible year of me learning how to ask for help from people and from my husband. I've had to learn tons about how to communicate effectively and clearly, not only with my family but with people around me. You know, I thought, man, I'm a professional. I know how to communicate. I've taught people all kinds of things, you know, in my field, but there is not an end to the things that you can learn, and especially learn how to do better. I think my faith was increased just even learning how to see people when you go to the store and not be in a hurry, because there's so much like anxiety and fear here. And we've talked a little bit about the security systems, like walls and electric fences and gates and literally security people and just lots of measures, and there's a lot of fear, but then you realize that it's just people. And so even going to the grocery store, you find yourself like in a hurry, just trying to get in and out, and I feel like this year really taught me how to slow down. I think I've said before, I really miss people's smiles. I really miss being able to connect with people, but I feel like the Lord really taught me how to listen to him and take time to stop and pray for people, to encourage people to really see what's in front of us, because it's not always easy to see. There's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of loss. Nothing was like we expected. We thought we would be working a lot more with like Indigenous people, which we did. We did tons of work out in Ikarhain, which is the township here. But a lot of our work, we really worked with kind of the middle class Afrikaners. People have said that they say this nation is over evangelized, but really this nation is full of people that grew up going to church on holidays, kind of like in America, but really don't have a relationship with God. They don't know what intimacy is. They don't know that we serve a Father that we can talk to, and that Jesus is standing by his side interceding for us, and that we have worth, and that he's called us all to something, and he's called us all to something different, and that's what we were formed and created for, was to fulfill the mandate he called for us. So it's just been tons of different kind of ministry, tons of personal breakthrough, like Scott said, in our marriage, and just having fun with trying to figure out how to parent a tween.
Tweener.
Who's super awesome. She's an amazing kid, but we just float in this world between, you know, she's surrounded by 20-year-olds, and when we got here, a 6-month-old baby, and then going to school is a whole new world, because there's maybe 7 white children in the entire school. Because she's not going to an Afrikaner school, things are still really separate here, and figuring out and just really needing to depend on God to tell us, like, where do we go? How do we do this? Of course, there's been tons of growth in our team, and like the rest of you, COVID, and just figuring out how do you do ministry, and how do you live, and how do you deal with even, I forget what it's called. You know, when you have to adjust to a new nation.
Culture shock.
Yeah, that thing. Just adjusting to culture shock in a totally different culture. And no matter what, no matter how much you read, your expectations are just totally, you just have no idea what you're stepping into. But it's been so good. One of our last ministry opportunities before we went on this break, I went to the high school with a group of the Messengers track, and our friend Lene shared her testimony. Every Thursday they meet in a group called Fleckfly, and it translates into, I think, purity or sinless. Anyway, it's a Christian group on campus that meets during their break time, and it was crazy because the time changed and the date changed. Usually it's on Wednesdays, but they were testing, so it was on Thursdays, but they had no way to even tell the students or advertise that it had changed. But I think over 80 students showed up the day that we were there. It was incredible. And as Lene shared her testimony and basically the gospel from beginning to end, it was incredible. And at the end, 21 students accepted Jesus. Like 21 students who were already coming to this group who would say they were Christians were just floored by actually hearing the gospel and what that means. And so it's incredible to be a part of these things. It's the favor of being in the high schools, different high schools, to be in the townships, to be at the hospital, and everything, and also being willing to just have everything change every other day because of COVID. Like the whole world. One day we were on lockdown. One day there was different rules. One day we were allowed to do things. One day the hospital said yes. Next, 3 weeks later, the hospital said, okay, no. It's just everything's up and down. But it's been really, really good, and we've ultimately learned that having a deep and intimate relationship with Jesus and with one another is what's sustaining. No matter what ministry looks like, and no matter what hard things look like, and I'm super thankful for that. RTC has done some incredible things. I got to do my first competition ever, which was so fun. It was a huge miracle. Honestly, the day before, I still couldn't hang on a bar because I had a shoulder injury, and the bio that the Lord just kind of led me through, that I've developed a friendship with, it was incredible. The last time, as she kind of did some massage, and I don't even know, she prayed for me and walked me through some things that I was not understanding about the Lord correctly. And the next day in the competition, I was able to do the whole workout hanging from the bar for the first time in over a year. Awesome. So it was a huge thing. I didn't win, but it was a win because I did it, and I competed with a bunch of girls that were in their 20s. So it was fun. And it was just such a cool opportunity to be out in the field in our specific sphere that God has called us to. That is, again, not what's logical in some ways. I mean, for me, it makes more sense for me to be at a hospital every day, but here we were, and the amount of people we got to pray for and love on, and the relationships that came out of that are just priceless, and God is really faithful. So we're looking forward to a lot of new things in next year. I guess Scott can start to tell you about that. But
my turn.
Yeah, back to him.
So I think the few things that I learned this last year, one of our leaders says this all the time, that really the currency of the kingdom is relationships. And just realizing ministry, effective ministry, sharing the gospel, loving people really is about people, really is about relationships. And often we put it on the effectiveness of things and how good is my ministry doing, but we realize ministry thrives when we love people and value the relationships with people. And we've just definitely seen that here in what God has been doing. Oh, my battery's gonna die. Hopefully it'll last.
We'll make it. This means we have to talk faster.
Yeah. So this year, 2021, Discipleship Training School starts the end of this month. We have 5 interns, plus 1 staff from Hawaii that's coming to help staff with us and help train the Respect the Corners DTS students. We're still building the trailer, hoping the trailer will be done the end of this month, that we can do mobile evangelistic fitness movement. Probably need to make a better, shorter word for that. But we're excited because last year we saw probably 5 to 7 people give their lives to Christ through fitness. We've seen culture shift. We went to a few competitions, like Megan said, and we effectively changed the culture. Had opportunities to share the gospel, pray for people. We got to see the love of Christ and the light of Jesus change the culture. And so we're excited to see what God is going to do this year as we continue to go to gyms and build relationships. So from my side, we're still pioneering the ministry, pioneering an internship. So we're the 3rd phase of a 3-tiered internship coming out of Kona to land here. And so we're expecting to see them, and we're stoked.
Preparing coaches to basically be effective in the nations.
Preparing coaches.
That's our portion, is now they're in the nations. So we're super excited to have more people come join our team. We know that the Lord has said to really steward what he's done in our community classes that have continued to grow, and then also out in our DTS, because I think there's somewhere between 60 and 70 students coming, and it gets to be a part of the DTS school. So we've got a lot on our plate, but it's super exciting.
Okay,
Layla, what are you excited about for 2021?
Grade 7.
Yes,
7.
actually, I'm very excited for grade 7.
Gonna turn 13 this year. So you're gonna be a
That's
teenager
not what
this
I'm
year.
excited for. But I'm really excited. I really love school. I love learning new things. Science and math, my favorite subjects. And I'm really excited to go to grade 7.
Become fluent in Afrikaans.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I will by the end of this year.
She's crushing that as
Gotta
well,
get
if you're wondering.
Done. But having science split into 2 different classes, I'm excited about that, and 1 extra class for science.
And what about DTS stuff?
I'm excited because there's a lot of families, more than I think we were all expecting, to come and do DTS, which is great because I love kids. I love babysitting kids. I'm with this baby on our base 24/7.
Not me. I'm not the baby that
No.
she's talking about.
And
The
not
baby that's
24/7.
He
there.
lives over. That's an exaggeration. But whenever we're out of our room and he's there, actually babysat him today. But yes, so I'm excited to hang out with those kids coming. I'm also excited to see how crazy this is going to be because the Lord is bringing so many people from so many different places. A team from Germany, Nepal, 111 Global. All those people are and interns from Kona and other places coming for RTC. Even we've already started getting new people. One of the ladies that she's like my sister now because she went on vacation with us. Her name is Abby. She's an intern and she also just got here. So
Canada.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm-
from Canada.
yeah. There's also some part of me that's like, oh, I don't want other people to join our team. It's us. It's our team. But obviously that's not how it's gonna happen. And yeah, I'm really excited in any ways to see all those people come. What the Lord's gonna do through everyone who's coming to do DTS. It's gonna be great.
Megan, what
Yeah,
about you?
I'm super excited about DTS, figuring out how we're going to commute back and forth. Everything is new and unknown.
The DTS is like 30 minutes. The
away,
farm is
yeah.
like 30 minutes from where we currently live. So we're still praying
And then
about
10
it if we should
minutes
move
down
out
a gravel road. Anyway, it's beautiful out there. I love being in the mountains, so I'm excited about that, and just meeting the new people. Some of them, one of the moms is, well, 2 of them I know. I've met one and am pretty close with, and another one in the families, to just be able to like disciple and help these families transition into missions, whether it's for this season or for the rest of their lives. It's a huge privilege. I'm hoping to still babysit the baby that I've been called to babysit, and that's an incredible opportunity to take care of her. I'm learning tons, and my heart is growing. But it's awesome to see just prayer and like what God is doing in her own life and how she's like crushing milestones and is her own person. It's really fun. Still praying into and hoping and trusting for nursing students. There's an opportunity for me to disciple some nursing students at the university here. So I've been in contact with her as we kind of figure out what school's going to look like next year. So we're going to kind of be all over the place, besides also teaching the women's class and doing the community classes, and then helping to pioneer everything out on base with RTC and DTS in general. So I'm sure there's tons of unknowns, but I'm excited for them. God has been so faithful this last year that I'm excited to see how faithful He's going to be this year to grow us and teach us new things, because we have no idea what to expect in all reality, but He's a good God, and I know He's going to get us there. It's going to be really fun. So I'm excited about next year's end of the year review and what we've learned and what we've been able to do, because He's just so faithful to continue to equip us to do all these things that we never thought we'd be doing.
Far beyond.
So, yeah.
He's far exceeded our small expectations of what God wants to do here. So I think the way we would summarize this last year and this year too is that God built a team that was unprecedented of 24 people, and He's continuing to do things that are unprecedented even in the world of missions. We're functioning and getting opportunities as a base that bases get 5, 10, 15 years in, because God has basically invited us to be a part of what He's already doing, where we're getting opportunities and doors open to us that kind of don't make sense, but we realize that God is doing stuff, and we're here just to be a part of what He's doing. So I want to give a little light about what our Respected Corners is doing. We have the trailer on one side. We're building a gym out at the farm, which is awesome, to help coach and train the DTS students and the interns. And so we're busy still trying to raise about $8,000, $3,000 to buy the rest of the weights that we've ordered. Believing in faith, that money will come in, and we also want to build a roof, which will cost us about $5,000 over the container we bought. So you guys would partner with us just
As
in prayer.
you have seen in our videos, the rain is something serious here.
Oh yeah. So we'll attach to this will be
rain.
another video of where the gym will be, so you guys get to see where the containers, where the gym is. So if you would pray with us that God would just bring in the finances to build the gym, to train the coaches, and to pay for the rest of the equipment. We're believing for that. We have the money to finish the trailer. It's just time and effort at this point. So we're hoping to finish that. Yeah, and we're still training for competitions because we had such a good turnout this last time. But yeah, God is amazing. God is awesome.
Too.
We're training people. Again, we love you guys.
This girl's an incredible athlete too, so it's really fun.
Soon I can compete. I'm just not old enough.
Next year.
Just not old enough.
Next year.
But yeah, we're fully thriving here, believing God to do great things this year through our family and what God is doing. So thank you guys for your prayers, your financial support. Yeah, we can't do it without you. So be encouraged that your kingdom deposit, your kingdom resources that you're giving to us are producing, 100-fold, in a sense that we're seeing people give their lives to Jesus. We're seeing growth. We're seeing people move closer to God. We're seeing people get healed. We're discipling young people, and we're seeing a lot of fruit, and we're anticipating just even more and more as God continues to open the door, regardless of COVID. Things are happening. So again, we love you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for your prayers. Please reach out to us if you want more stories. We have endless supply of stories, of conversations with people. I mean, on our trip, we saw a guy give his life to Christ, a bartender in a Mexican restaurant. So God is moving. God is changing us. We are different people than we were last year because of our yes to Jesus. So love you guys. Thanks so much. Please reach out to us if you have questions and how we can pray for you. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.